In this video tutorial, we're going to learn how to create reports using a report view. In order to demonstrate that, we're going to start by creating two tables. The first one is going to be called customers, and the second one is going to be called contacts. We will need to create a one-to-many relationship between customers and contacts, and that means that a customer can have multiple contacts. And we do that by selecting the customers table, click on the plus sign, then select the contacts table. Click on accept, and we're done. We can save and close now. Now that we have defined the database structure, so we've created the tables and also the relationship between these two tables, we need to create views. And we're going to create grid views. We're going to create two grid views for each of the two tables. So the first one is going to be connected to the customers table, and the second one is going to be connected to the contacts table. Let's have a look at the customers view and play with it a bit. Right-click on the surface, choose Customize Layout, add in some fields. Okay. And also add in some entries. This is going to be called Customer 1, Customer 2, 3, the fourth one, and the last one is going to be customer number 5. Save and close. Let's say we want to display information about contacts in the customer view. Well, in order to achieve that, we need to go to the Relations option and add in a control that is going to tie these two views together. Select the Contacts view. This view is exactly the contacts view that we've created a bit earlier. Let's save and go back to the customer view. Customize this form a bit more and drag in the contacts. Right-click, choose Hide Item. Also, right-click on this surface and choose Group, so we can transform this into a group. We also want to hide this text by right-clicking on it and choose Hide Text. And if we select the header of this group, we can rename it and change the name to Contacts. Okay. Also, we may want to add some items to this form. It's basically part of the contacts view, which is a child of the customer view. So we're going to add a couple of fields so we can add entries to the contacts table using this child view. And for customer number 1, we're going to add contact 1, 1. 1, 2, and 1, 3. Save. For customer number 2, we're going to add contact 2, 1, 2, 2, and 2, 3. and also for customer number 3. We're gonna populate all these entries for all of the customers, but I believe that 3 of them will do just fine. Okay. Let's do a short recap of all of the steps we've taken up until now. Firstly, we've created 2 tables. One is customers and one is contacts. We also have a one-to-many relationship between those 2 tables, so a customer can have multiple contacts. Then we've created 2 grid views. One is tied to the customers table, and the other one, of course, is tied to the contacts table. We've customized the customer's view, and we've added some entries like customer 1, 2, 3 up until 5. We've then added a control between the 2 views, and that way we're able to display contacts information in the customer's view. We've also edited the child contacts view a bit more, and we were able to add entries to the contacts table, which is also tied to each customer. So customer number 1 has its contacts 1, 1, 2, 1, 3. Customer number 2 the same, and customer number 3. Let's save. Now that we have everything in place, we can close these windows and start building our first report view. And we do that by clicking on the report view button and add in our first report view by clicking on the plus sign and choosing customers from this drop down. Click on accept. And if we have a look at this view right now, you're going to see that this is empty. We will need to customize this report view. Let's close this for now. Click on edit. And this is going to open up the report designer, which is going to allow us to customize our report view. If we have a look at the report designer, you will see that in the middle of the screen you have your design surface in which you're going to drag all your elements that are going to be visible in your report. On the right side, you have the Report Explorer, which has 2 main tabs, Report Explorer and Field List. In the Report Explorer, you will see all the sections that are available in the page. So you have your header, your footer, and your content. All of these are available over here. If you click on the field list, you will see a list of fields that are particular to the customers table and also particular to the contacts table. Now, let's start and customize our report view a bit. Let's drag some elements. Okay. We're going to make the name a bit wider. And now if you click on preview, you will see exactly how the report looks like in this moment. Just a quick tip, when you're developing this kind of report view, it's a good idea to have it on 2 screens. You'll have the preview on one screen and the report designer on the other screen. And as long as you're making changes in the report designer, you'll see them in real time in the preview on the other screen. Let's close the preview and continue customizing our report view. Let's play with these a bit more. And now, if you right-click on the detail band and choose Insert Detail Report, this is going to suggest the contacts, because contacts are tied to customers by a one-to-many relationship. Click on it, and this is going to add a detailed report for the contacts. Now it's a good moment to go to this contact group and add some fields which are related to the contacts, like the name. Okay. Okay, and why not the created on? Let's make these a bit wider. Okay. We can also change the color of the fields that are referring to customer information. We're going to go with green. And for the fields that are showing contact information, we're going to go with orange. If you run the report right now, we're going to see that we have customer information displayed at the top, and beneath each customer we have the contacts that are tied to that particular customer. For customer number 1, we have contact 11, 12, and 13. For customer number 2, we have 21, 22, and 23, and so on. But of course, you can play with the design of this report as much as you would like. Let's close this one for now. And I know you're saying that the report looks awful, and that's why we're going to change these just a bit, because we are going to have a look at this report a bit later to demonstrate some other concepts, and we want to see a prettier report. Looks a bit better. Not quite perfect, but it's better. Okay, now we can save our report by clicking on Save, or if you want to copy the layout of this report, you can choose to save it as, and this is going to save the design of this report as a .repx in the project, and you can simply import the file and duplicate the layout. Now let's exit the designer and have a look at our report view by clicking on the View button over here. As you can see, this is going to display our report, but I think it would be a nice idea to actually be able to filter this information, like having a filter for the customer 1, customer 2, customer 3, and so on. Well, in order to do that, we will need to close these windows and create a data list view. We do that by clicking on the data list view button, click on the plus sign, and we're going to choose customer, click on accept, save and close, and get back to our report view. As you can see, we have a property over here that we can populate with the data list view that has been connected to the customers table. We select it, save, and view our report view. Let's make it a bit bigger. And on the left side, we have a data list with all the customers. And on the right side, we have our report, which is dynamically generated based on our selection. Depending on the selection we're making on the left side, the report is showing appropriate information based on our customers. But what if you want to select multiple customers and generate a report on the right side based on multiple entries? Well, you gotta click on the Properties button, select Data List View, scroll down until you find Options Selection, and you have the Multi-Select option. Check this option, close, and now you're able to have multiple selections by clicking on one customer, holding down the Control key on your keyboard, and as you can see, the report is dynamically generated containing customer 1, 2, and 3 based on our selection. Another very interesting thing that you can do is you can customize the view on this side. You can add columns, you can hide columns, also choose column chooser and drag any other column that you would like to see on this side. And you can even group the items that you're seeing on the left side by dragging one of the columns over here. For example, if customer 4 and 5 would have been inactive, a different group would have been created having active and inactive customer displayed into them. I would like to show you a very cool feature that XtraBuild Designer provides. The layout that you're seeing is the default layout that is stored in the project. The end user is able to create his own layout. As you can see, we have the default layout selected over here, but the end user can create a new layout called My Layout. It can be an empty layout or based on the default layout that you're seeing over here. We're going to go with default, create. Now the name has changed because we've just created a new layout. And a very cool thing is that you can edit selected layout. This is going to open up the report designer, and we're going to make these a different color. Let's say red. Now click on save. This is going to save my layout, so not the default one. We're going to close it. And as you can see, the changes are directly visible in the report. You have my layout with the red background over the customers. And if we change it back to the default one, we have the default layout with the green background over the customers. This is a very cool feature that comes in handy when the end user wants to customize his own layout. Maybe he wants some new fields added, maybe the order is not right, or he just needs a quick change in the layout before generating this report. Let's close this one. Save and close. And this is how you create report views. I hope this has been informative for you, and I would like to thank you for watching.